seeing already the impacts of climate change and what an increase in global temperatures can do. And if we keep going in the direction that we're going, the severity of the environmental and climate weather events will just get more and more extreme. So if we can find a way to become more resilient, more adaptable, and reduce our impact as a community and as a country, as a planet, it's so important because we as Canadians have a far greater impact than we believe. On a per capita basis, we have a much larger ecological and GHG footprint than most other humans on Earth, so it's our duty to reduce our impact as best we can.
Climate action in Waterloo Region means a lot to me. It's very important for me personally, but I look at it more as also for my family. And that's the reason why I became active maybe about 6 years ago with climate action, volunteering and working with different groups. For me personally, clean air is very, very important. And I look at it as I can do something for myself, which will benefit my family, but it will be more powerful if I work with other people. I believe it's really a group, a community that will make us successful.
I think about it as a way for the community to work together. It's an opportunity for citizens or residents, organizations within Waterloo Region to come together and tackle greater climate change issues and meet climate action goals. If it doesn't have like an end goal, it makes it no longer achievable. Which makes it overwhelming, which climate change already is. And so when you add something like meeting an 80% target, you kind of take this huge problem and you put a constraint around it and you make it achievable. And so I think about an 80% number. I think about it as I can do something small today, I can do something small tomorrow, and my neighbor can, my organization can, and everyone around me can put that into their frame of thinking. You can probably measure that impact at the end of the year and say, okay, well, now I have something to benchmark against and I have something that I can try and achieve the next year.
For me, the target is very important because it conveys a message to everyone in the community. The target 80% is what the community eventually said, and it's something that's very important as a way for each and everyone to say, hey, well, what can I do to meet the target?
My favorite way of reducing my carbon footprint is by going to the farmers markets. They have signs that tell you which farmers are local versus resellers. And so it's important to me to contribute back to my community somehow, but it's also important for me to understand where my food is coming from. And so the idea of knowing that it hasn't traveled far, it's come from a farmer that's focused on certain farming practices, that's something that you can easily do where you're just really getting this like fresh local food that isn't super expensive within the region.
There's several ways to reduce my carbon footprint, including water barrels, a solar PV system, home garden growing tomatoes and raspberries and zucchini, insulating our home as best we can, and trying to make it more fun for our kids to see sustainability, or I shouldn't even say sustainability, see living life in a way that is less impactful on our community and the world.
As a family, we started early and we looked at ourselves, this was I think 5 or 6 years ago, and we just said, do we really need 2 cars? And our answer was no, we can make this work.
There is a lot of conversation about who is responsible for climate action, whether it's the individual, corporation, or the government, but really at the end of the day, people are at the heart of all 3 of those things. And it's important to remember that one solution won't work for everyone. That being said, the best thing to do is to empower people so that they feel they have a place to start through resource and knowledge sharing and calling people in to contribute. For individuals looking and corporations looking for specifics about what to do, the TransformWR Region strategy is a great place to start with those really specific, tangible action items, and I recommend everyone reads it and sees what feels accessible to them.